Good morning, greetings friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures if you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin. You have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 33 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure, because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system, it is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis, and while some folks may call that a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we are here for you on The Bright Side. We welcome your calls at 844-236-6010. If you have questions about the longevity products, longevity business, health questions that you or a loved one, health challenges that you or a loved one may be dealing with, questions about our ingredients or formulations at Truth Treatments, our Truth Skin Health products. If you have a comment or success story you'd like to share, if you just want to contribute to the conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number, and we love hearing from you on The Bright Side. We'll get to your calls in our second segment. We've got a guest coming up at the bottom of the hour. Sherry Ricard is an author. She's an expert in adversity recovery. She's a public speaker. She's got a wonderful podcast and radio show, Real Girl Talk. I've been a guest on her program, and she has a personal story that's very tragic and interesting and also very inspiring, and we're going to be talking to Sherry in the bottom of the hour. So we'll get your calls in our second segment. 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. If you want to purchase longevity products, go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. And you can also call 866-735-2470 if you want to purchase longevity products, or if you want to sign up to join the Bright Side Ben team for a one-time $30 fee. You can be in business for yourself. Call 866-735-2470 for more information, or go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com and click on the Join the Team link right off the website. And then don't forget to take a look at our Truth Nourishment page, truthnourishment.com. Got various shopping products at truthnourishment.com, nutritional supplements, herbal extracts, and a few devices. We'll also be adding new products as the days and weeks go by. Thank you to Robert Lundgren for setting that up for me. And then also, please check out our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com. We've got a special running for the near future. If you purchase a transdermal C serum trial size, you'll get a free biomimetic mineral mist made with lots of minerals, 80 polyelectrolyte minerals, fulvic minerals, as well as sodium lactate and high hyaluronic acid for softening your skin, for helping improve penetration of other active ingredients in your other Truth treatment products. And you can also even use your Truth Biomimetic Mineral Mist on your hair when you come out of the shower. It makes a great hair softener. Truth Biomimetic Mineral Mist, Truth Transdermal C Serum, Truth Transdermal C Balm, or Omega-6 Healing Cream, and other Truth Skin Health products are all available at truthtreatments.com. Never any preservatives, fragrances, fillers, waxes, emulsifier, water, silicone oil, nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want in any of our Truth Skin Health products. Check them all out at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. All right, we'll get your calls in our next segment, 844-236-6010. We want to talk about fibromyalgia, which is a woman's health issue. That's, it's not just women that get fibromyalgia, but it's mostly women. In fact, about 90%, 80 to 90% of fibromyalgia patients are women. Fibromyalgia is nothing more than just when your body's a big old sore, head to toe pain. Anytime you have head to toe pain, you want to suspect the circulatory system. It's very interesting to me how doctors can't figure out what the heck's causing it, because all you got to do is understand a little bit about biochemistry and you'll know what fibromyalgia is all about. Number one, it's a female health issue. If it's a female health issue, then you want to suspect the hormone estrogen. Number two, it's head to toe, so you want to suspect the bloodstream. Well, where have you heard this before? Estrogen, bloodstream, digestion, estrogen's processed in the digestive system. Fibromyalgia is basically just a description of what's happening in the body. Fibromyalgia, fiber muscle pain. That's all it means. It's an incredibly debilitating condition, but what really makes fibromyalgia so miserable is there's nothing the doctor can do about it. There's no markers for it. There's no tests for it. And if you go to the doctor, a lot of times they're just going to tell you got a psychosomatic mental health problem, and they'll give you Prozac or an antidepressant for it. There's nothing they can do for it. Opioids don't really work. They may make you dumb and stupid so you don't feel the pain, but they're not going to really help you with the inflammation that's causing the pain. Fibromyalgia, FM as it's called, is the end result of the accumulation of toxicity in the body. Toxicity in the blood, the toxins get dumped into the connective tissue and the muscle tissue. That's it. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand what's going on with fibromyalgia. It's just amazing to me how it's considered to be a mystery by the medical model. It is not a mystery. It's toxicity in the body that is initiated in the bloodstream, from the bloodstream, and then it gets into the bloodstream from the digestive system. It's as simple as that. There's a major relationship between estrogen clearance, and digestion. The intestine, the liver, the gallbladder, even the pancreas play a major role in how the body's handling estrogen. FM, fibromyalgia, is an estrogen issue. Anytime an illness dramatically affects more women than men, suspect estrogen, blood vessel diseases, autoimmune diseases, hypothyroidism, depression, migraine headaches, anxiety. These are all female health issues, and all of these involve the hormone estrogen. Do men get these kinds of conditions? Do men have autoimmune diseases? Of course. Men have hypothyroidism and migraine headaches? Of course. But these conditions largely affect women. That means the female hormone estrogen is likely to be involved. And I say female hormone, but it's not just a female hormone. Estrogen is extremely potent stuff. It has to be cleared out of the body quickly. Estrogen is a pro-inflammatory substance. It's a pro-immune substance. That means it activates immunity, activates inflammation. And it's not even estrogen so much as it's the breakdown products, i.e. the metabolites of estrogen. Sometimes you're going to hear people talking about this thing called estrogen dominance. And there is a phenomena of estrogen dominance. That is, people who are producing lots of estrogen. You can tell by looking at somebody's body if they're high estrogen producers. Women who are curvy, buxom, big hair. These are all soft skin. These are all signs of lots of estrogen. And guess what? Men can have this too. Men can be estrogen dominant or be high estrogen producers. Men will be doughy, round, have really nice hair, smooth skin. Those are signs of high estrogen producing men. That doesn't mean that you're feminine. It just means you're producing a relatively high amount of estrogen, and that means you gotta focus, pay attention, close attention to how your body eliminates estrogen, how it detoxifies estrogen. Prostate cancer, by the way, and prostate disease can be related to estrogen. Estrogen is a growth substance. That's why cancer is related to estrogen. Did you know estrogen is on the FDA's known to cause cancer list? Yeah, if you're taking biased or triest or so-called bioidentical hormones, you're at risk. To me, bioidentical estrogen is one of the craziest things that a woman can take, given the well-known toxicity associated with estrogen. If you are on biased meaning 2 estrogens, or triest, meaning 3 estrogens, you better make darn sure you're able to clear out that estrogen. Estrogen detoxification and estrogen elimination are major strategies for high estrogen producers, for estrogen dominance, for people who are on hormone replacement therapy, and especially if you're dealing with PMS or migraine headaches, migraines that occur during your period if you're a woman, polycystic ovarian syndrome, endometriosis, fibroids or cysts. All of these are linked to problems with estrogen. If you have any of these conditions or you're on estrogen replacement therapy, you'd be really smart to start taking care of estrogen metabolism, and there's lots of strategies for doing that. We'll talk about that when we come back from our break. And take your phone calls. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. Got a guest coming up at the bottom of the hour. Sherry Ricard is going to be talking about dealing with adversity, especially for women. And Sherry Ricard is coming on at the bottom of the hour. We'll get your calls next. Okay, we are back. On the bright side, got lots of lines open, got all our lines open, 844-236-6010. We'll get your calls this segment. Got Sherry Ricard coming up at the bottom of the hour. She's an author and expert in adversity recovery, public speaker, corporate educator, and also the host of the Real Girl Talk podcast, which I was on last week. I talked to Sherry and I was like, you got to come on my radio program. She is a powerhouse for RN, and I love RNs, registered nurses. I always say, how you get 200 points on your SATs, the Scholastic Aptitude Test that gets you into college. You get 200 points just for signing your name. I think when a nurse dies and goes to heaven, she gets 200 points for being a nurse. Nurses run the healthcare system, and if you've ever been in a hospital, you know how beautiful and wonderful and what great, spectacular souls nurses are. They really are amazing, amazing human beings. Sherry's a registered nurse and also, as I say, a public speaker and an author. We're going to have her on at the bottom of the hour. We'll get your calls this segment. She's going to be talking about how Strong Women, her newest book, Strong Women, How to Live an Empowered Life Beyond Adversity. We'll get to Sherry at the bottom of the hour. We'll get your calls this segment, 844-236-6010. I'm going to be spending a lot of time talking about not so much fibromyalgia, but fibromyalgia is a poster child for the nonsense, the silliness, and the very unhelpful nature of diagnosis. Diagnosis is a way of misleading us into thinking that we can get a treatment or a protocol specifically designed for our brand or our flavor of illness. And really, that doesn't serve us from a healing and a reversal perspective. We want to start to look at our breakdowns, our bodily breakdowns, our so-called diseases, our diagnoses, really as just generic ways the body falls apart. When we start to look at this, at the disease process as being generic, we can see that our treatments are also generic. The reversal is also generic. If you take care of your estrogen and your digestive system and the way you process estrogen, no matter what your health challenge is, chances are you're going to start to feel better. And of course, that's the goal, to feel better. If you start working on digestive health by doing something as simple as fasting, something as simple as calorie restriction, something as simple as the elimination diet, something as simple as making sure that you're using digestive support supplements, especially probiotics, you're going to start to feel better. Whether you're cured or not, whether you're completely reverse your health challenge, that's not the point. The point is to feel better. And for feeling better, if you make feeling better your goal, these generic steps that we can take, that is working on the digestive system, stabilizing the blood sugar system, calming the body down, getting on a nutritional supplement program, making sure your exercise is going to help, it will help you deal with every health challenge. It will help you feel better no matter what you're dealing with. And that's the goal. That's what we're about here on the Bright Side, is helping you feel better no matter what your health challenge is. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Hang tight. We'll get your calls in just a minute. I want to read a couple. Well, I'm just going to read. Well, you know what? Let me just do one story, then we'll get your calls here. This is very interesting, I thought, because, vitamin C is very underappreciated. This is from the European Journal of Nutrition. Vitamin C in athletic performance. Who knew? In this study, a substantial minority of healthy young males consumed less than the RDA of vitamin C. It turns out adequate vitamin C intake is essential for optimal athletic performance. Plasma vitamin C levels were measured in 100 healthy males, compared with the 10 subjects with the highest levels of vitamin C. The 10 subjects with the lowest level of vitamin C had significantly lower mean VO2 max, that's respiratory function, during the performance of aerobic exercise. That is, when you take vitamin C, you breathe better. When you take vitamin C, your respiratory system works better. When you take vitamin C, you have better athletic performance. This is really important because who knew that vitamin C can help athletes? When we think about vitamin C, we may think about colds. You may think about cancer. If you're in the skincare business, or if you're using skincare products, you may think about vitamin C for wrinkles and for anti-aging and for skin lightening. And true, vitamin C is important for all of those things, but it's also important for respiration, healthy oxygenation, and also for athletic performance. And here's the thing about vitamin C. If you're following the RDAs, You're not getting enough vitamin C. The RDA is pathetically low when it comes to vitamin C. Personally, I take 2 to 3 grams every day. I highly suggest people take at least a gram, which is 10 times more than the RDA. You could take 10 grams a day. That's what Linus Pauling did. That's 100 times more than the recommended daily allowance. And the only side effect you might get is some bloating or digestive discomfort. Back off if that's your side effect. Just don't take a little bit less or divide your doses. And it's always a good idea to divide your doses of supplements. That's a pharmacy trick. Always divide your doses of nutritional supplementation, and you'll get better results. When it comes to vitamin C, sip on it all day long. How do you do that? Beyond Tangy Tangerine, which is an awesome way to get vitamin C. Sip on your BTT all day long, especially if you're focusing on athletic performance. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's say good morning to Barry, our friend Barry in New Orleans. What's up, Barry? How you doing, buddy?
Yes, good morning. Yes, I want to ask you about autophage.
About what? Autophagy? Autophage? Did you say?
Yes.
Yes. That's a very interesting bodily process where the body carves out dead tissue or dead cells. Auto meaning self, phagy meaning eating. The body eats itself, and in a good way, in the sense that autophagy clears out bad cells or dead cells or bad tissue. It's the body's way of cleaning out damaged tissue or damaged cells so that you can regenerate and have room for new stuff, new cells.
Yes, okay. Can exercise, I like walking. Can that, because I was looking at this recently, and it said that exercise and fasting are
you bet.
Two ways that can
absolutely. Fasting's my favorite way. Autophagy is a self-repair process. It's the way the body balances out dead stuff from the living stuff. It's housekeeping. It's the way the body removes misfolded or clogged up proteins, damaged organelles inside the cell, mitochondria. You know, the body's constantly breaking down. This is very important because we think breakdown is a bad thing, but the body's constantly breaking down and building up. It's only when the breakdown occurs faster than the building up that we run into a problem. But autophagy can protect us against cancer, most especially, but also heart disease, cardiomyopathy, diabetes, liver disease. All of these functions, all of these disease states are the end result of dysfunctional autophagy, and autophagy can prevent the occurrence of these kinds of conditions, especially cancer.
So you agree that autophagy exercise can bring about autophagy? Yes,
absolutely. It's one of the best ways to stimulate autophagy. That's how you say it.
Okay. So walking, because I like to walk.
Have to put a little stress on the body. Walking isn't. Walking's good. You're moving your body. It's always good to move the body, but it's not like you got to put a little stress on the body. A little bit of stress. So walking briskly, or maybe walking with a backpack on, kind of thing. You want to put a little bit of burden on the body. The body likes a little bit of burden. Not a lot, but a little bit of burden. Just push the envelope a little bit.
So because I kind of got the impression, I wasn't clear that they were kind of meant more like a gym workout, but that's not.
No, that's what I say. Gym workout's great, but and because you're putting a burden on the body, a stress on the body. Walking depends. For some people, just a walk around the block might be stressful. If you haven't exercised, in years, a walk around the block may be considered stressful. The point is you want a little bit of stress on the body. Barry, I'm out of time, my friend. Got to go. We got Sherry Ricard coming up at the bottom of the hour. I'm sorry if I left you on hold. You can give us a call back tomorrow, 844-236-6010. We'll be back on the bright side.
This is Jordan.
Okay, we are back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on the archive page at brightsideben.com. You can purchase longevity products at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. We've got blog stories, news posts, or blog posts and news stories, videos, lots of good free health information at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. Don't forget to check out our shopping page, truthnourishment.com. Also got blogs, blog posts, and videos, and a link to the radio program at truthnourishment.com, and also Don't forget our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com. Never any preservatives, fragrances, fillers, waxes, emulsifiers, silicone oil, nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want in any of our Truth Skin Health products. They were all formulated in my pharmacy as wound healing products. And I noticed when people came back from for their refills, not only would their wounds be improved, wounds be healing up, but their skin would look better. And that's why I repurposed my products, my wound healing formulations, as skin beauty and skin health products. Are all available at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. All right, I am very excited to have my next guest on. Sherry Ricard is an author. She is an expert in, she calls it adversity recovery, which I love that term, adversity recovery. She's a public speaker, a corporate educator, and the host of Real Girl Talk, a podcast that I was on last week. And after talking to Sherry, I was like, you got to come on my radio program because you got a lot of good stuff to say. And you are a powerhouse, Sherry. She's the author of a book called Wake Up Call, which is her personal story about losing her son. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then her new book is Strong Women, How to Live an Empowered Life Beyond Adversity. Please welcome to the bright side, Nurse Sherry Ricard. Greetings, Sherry. Good morning.
Hey, Ben. I'm your favorite friend from the South.
I love it. You know, when I talked to you on the we did our interview last week. We did it on, for the listeners, we did it on Zoom, and I could see that Sherry was just a powerhouse woman. She's a registered nurse, and you guys know how I feel about registered nurses. So I said, Sherry, you got to tell your story on my radio program. So tell us a little bit about what adversity means to you, how you got yourself into helping other folks dealing with adversity recovery, and just tell us a little bit about your personal story.
Thank you, Ben, for having me on the show. I really appreciate it, and thank you for letting me tell my story, because the purpose of my story, and to be repetitive over and over with it, is to really bring a good, positive mindset for those that are going through any adversity. So when we look at adversity, it can mean many things to many people, right? So adversity is grief. Basically, when you're going through something that is an adversity or a loss or a pain, it all goes back down to what is the initial cause. Is it the death of a loved one? Is it divorce? You know, did you wake up this morning and, you know, your husband or your wife walked out on you? Did you just lose your job, you know, this morning and you didn't even know it was coming? There's all kinds of forms to adversity and grief, and we all suffer from pain. It's just a universal emotion, right? So when back in 2007, I was on top of the world, to tell you the truth. I was just landed a corporate position. I had been an RN in ICU, traveled all over this country for several years, working in 17 different states. At one time, I had 17 different RN licenses, and just loving life. I was on my second marriage. We were 8 years at that time married, had 3 beautiful children, landed this job. I'm in California training, and I get that call. You know, that call that people do not want to get at 2 o'clock in the morning, because it's never good news, right? So here I am at 2 a.m. in a hotel room by myself in California, and the voice on the other end of the phone is hysterical, and I recognize it to be my husband. And all he could say is, Bryant, which is my middle son. And, you know, call it a mother's intuition, call it whatever you like. I knew at that very moment that my son was no longer here. I can't explain it. I don't know why. There was not anything that he would have been doing to cause that. He was a wonderful child, National Honor Society, all-star athlete, most attractive of the senior class, just an all-around awesome dude. And I knew at that moment when he said Bryant, and I said, don't tell me. I just broke down on the floor, don't tell me. And he told me. He said, Bryant's been in a car accident, and he didn't make it. And, you know, it's one thing to receive that phone call and be in your home or be close to someone, but I'm 2,000 miles away. You know, I'm in South Louisiana. I'm in California, and I'm in Orange County in a hotel room, not knowing anyone in this training class except for I had met one gentleman. So I immediately called the front desk to find out what room he was in. He came to my room, got me on a flight, flew me to Memphis, which is where my son was in an accident, and the chain of events over a course of 7 to 8 days were just that of, you know how people say you have an out-of-body experience, or you're somewhere and you really don't feel like you're there, or they can't remember. Some people will have a blackout. It was almost like being present in a situation, but I was not mentally present. So I was seeing it from the eyes of a mother, but it wasn't me as the mother. And so it was very difficult. My son was, because he was National Honor Society and, you know, a big deal in his high school in Memphis, Tennessee, I also had to endure it all over the news. Because, you know, it's big news when you have an all-star athlete from a senior in high school that's killed tragically in a car accident. That makes for news. So I had to watch that repeatedly over the course of several days as we're preparing for his funeral in Memphis, and having hundreds and hundreds of people gather and come from all over the country to join us in Memphis. And, you know, I didn't know, Ben, what to do with that pain, because the mind is tricky. You know, we talk about how we take care of our skin and we take care of our bodies and we work out and we eat right, but what do we really do to heal our mind or take care of our mindset and protect us from adversity or tragedy? There's really nothing that you can do, except for you have to really realize that there's always going to be something in your life that is going to cause you to step back to a point to sometimes it's just complete destruction. And at that point, you have a choice. You have a choice where you can go down the path of destruction and depression, or you have a choice to take that pain and turn it into some type of purposeful power. And I can't say that that was easy for me. I was very close to my son and very close to all three of my children. And I will tell you, for about 7 weeks, I laid in bed eating M&Ms. And that was my drug of choice. You know, some people turn to alcohol and drug abuse, and they do all kinds of things to torture their bodies. Mine was just to eat M&Ms and sit in bed and cry. And I did that for many, many weeks. And I received a phone call from a coworker that told me that he needed me to reach out to a mother that had just lost their child. You know, and I'm thinking to myself, who am I to speak to a mother that has just lost their child? I'm only a couple of months in here. But what I found, and I did make that phone call, and I did it for him. And when I called the mother, we cried, but we also talked. And when I hung up the phone, there was a small piece of me, a very small piece of me, that felt healed. And it was because I helped heal someone else. When she hung up and she said, before she hung up, she said, "I'm so glad you called me. I feel better right now than I have in the last 24 hours.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it was something about that, you know, when you are going through something so tragic and you're tormented yourself and you're in the midst of it, pick up the phone and reach out to somebody else that's going through it.
That's such beautiful words of wisdom. Hang tight. We got a commercial break. That's awesome, Sherry. We're talking to Sherry Ricard. Her book is Strong Women, How to Live an Empowered Life Beyond Adversity. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll continue with this very, very inspiring discussion and interview with Sherry Ricard right after this break. All right, we're back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're talking to Sherry Ricard, authoress of a new book, Strong Women, How to Live an Empowered Life Beyond Adversity. And also her previous book was Wake Up Call, A Mother's Grief Journey. And I love, Sherry, how you turned your adversity into something empowering. And your words of wisdom are just really, really brilliant and very, very profound. The idea that we can turn our grief into something that can be helpful to the culture and to society and to our fellow man. So please continue with your story.
Yeah, so just to take you back, after I made that phone call, as we were talking about, and I just began healing myself, I thought, you know what, I'm on to something here. You know, I need to start speaking more positive. I need to start speaking more positive gratitude and mindset, because what I found myself was that I had a 7-year-old, my youngest child, and I'm laying in bed for 2 months. I mean, a mom can't lay in bed for 2 months eating M&Ms when she has a 7-year-old. And it was just a realization to me that my youngest son, Carson, deserved the same mom that Bryant had. And even though I did not have Bryant with me, and I knew it was going to be a struggle every day, I had to change my mindset into, I am going to go down this dark hole and tunnel of depression and destruction, which is where I was headed, or I'm going to have to come out of this and use my pain and turn it into my power somehow. So what I did is I started writing, because I've never been that person that is the negative Nancy that wants to talk about their problems. You know, I always say that people with small minds talk about people and great minds talk about ideas. And so I always sat down with a journal and I would just write down my pains, wrote down everything that I was feeling. And I even recalled some of the things that happened during the funeral itself, and I jotted those down. And I wrote then for 7 years. 7 years, I wrote in this journal, and I wrote on my computer. Every time I would travel, I'd pull out my laptop and I would type away. And in 2014, I had a publisher approach me and said, you know, we really need to make this into a book. And so Wake Up Call, A Mother's Grief Journey was born in 2014. And, you know, it was nothing that I had set out to do. It was just something that God had led me to do. And from there, it just kind of snowballed. You know, when the book came out, I started being approached by people in bereavement groups, women's society groups, empowering women conferences, and things like that. So it just kind of took off to where I was speaking one-on-one with moms that needed me, and whether it be via Facebook, on inbox, to phone calls. And I thought, you know what, I really need another way to speak to these people. So I had someone help me. We created a website, and it just kind of snowballed. The newspaper came out and took pictures of me in my house and right up in the front page. And I just kept writing then. I just kept writing because I thought, you know what, this is healing for me. It's helping someone else. And then here we are 5 years later. You know, I've wrote 3 books. I do speaking all over the country. My whole goal in life, my passion and my purpose, is to really help people reboot, regroup, and reinvent themselves, whether it be in their families, whether it be in leadership, community, or even their career. Because as someone that's been successful in their career, I wanted to incorporate corporate society, as well as moms and those that all own small businesses, to be able to help them in whatever adversity they're going through, to help them with success. And it turned into the podcast show, and it just kind of keeps going. And that's how I met you, Ben. How fun is that?
That is such an awesome story. I mean, I'm grinning from ear to ear because life is so hard and so traumatic, and the whole idea of the trauma of life is we can turn it into something good. We can help people. We can put smiles on other people's faces because everybody's dealing with grief, because that's the nature of life. Entropy. Things happen in life. Tell us a little bit about the radio program, the podcast.
Okay, so Real Girl Talk, actually, I'll tell you, it's a funny story. It started out last year in the summer. It was really kind of on a dare, I will tell you. So I had one of my mentors. She was a coaching mentor, because I was so afraid of video. I don't know why, because when I was younger, I would walk on stage, no problems. I was in beauty pageants from the age of 12 until I was 18, and then I was in the Mrs. Tennessee USA pageant when I was married. And so I was not afraid of stage, but I was afraid of someone sticking a camera in my face, which was really crazy. Yeah. And so she challenged me to do Facebook Live. She said, do a Facebook Live every week and really reach out to those that want to hear from you. And so that's what I did. I bought the lights. I figured out Facebook, and I thought, what am I going to call this? Well, I'm just going to talk to girls. So Real Girl Talk was born. So every week on Wednesday, I did a Facebook Live for 6 weeks, and that's challenging to make sure your hair and makeup is all right every single week, and you're busy, productive live, and try to do a live. So I thought, how can I continue this and still reach the audience that I want to reach? Because when I had stopped doing Facebook Live, I got so many messages. Where did you go? You know, are you going to do this again? What's happening? I miss Real Girl Talk. So that's where the podcast show came from. So the podcast, I just carried on the name Real Girl Talk Podcast Radio Show. And on my show, it's really, really geared towards women that want to live an empowered, intentional life. No matter where you are in life, you can start right where you are. And I give best tips in business, lifestyle, emotional, and spiritual healing. I have amazing guests like you, Ben, giving also a weekly dose of inspiration and just a lot of knowledge and education about things that we don't know about. Because knowledge and education is the way the world goes round. If you're not educating yourself, and you're not growing every day.
What do you want women to know? What's the most important thing you want women to know, or a couple of the most important things?
You know, I want women to know that it does not matter where you've been or where you're going. You can start right here. A lot of times we want to reinvent ourselves, but we don't know where to start. Start with a podcast. Start with someone that can inspire you. If you're on Instagram or you're on Facebook, any social media, and you're following someone that is not inspiring, unfriend them and unfollow them, because I am a true believer that you are the sum of the 5 people that you keep closest to you. And that goes the same with social media. If you have 50 people in your social media downloads that are posting negative, non-inspirational, no affirmations, not going anywhere in life, then that's where you're going to see yourself. You know, there are basically a lot of different steps to success and healing, no matter where you're going or what you've been through. And one of the number one things that I tell women is the language. It's called words of wisdom.
Yeah.
And this
Love
goes
it.
for men and women. It's the language of success and healing. And it starts first with gratitude and faith-filled affirmations over yourself and over your future. If you're not speaking faith-filled affirmations every day over yourself, over your children, over your future, your career, your marriage, family, whatever it is, you're not going to see it. You have to say it, you have to imagine it, and it will be.
I love it, man. You are so inspiring, Sherry. So tell me real quick, who do you like in terms of inspiration? Who do you listen to? Who do you read? Who turns you on the most?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Okay, so
Couple.
faith-filled women. I love Beth Moore. I love Terry Foy Seville. She's amazing. I'm trying to get her on my podcast show, but she's busy preparing for a huge event in Dallas in August. As far as success, financial and money, I love Kayla Craft. She's on my podcast show this morning that just aired. So make sure you go to Real Girl Talk podcast on iTunes or anywhere you listen, because Kayla Craft is a nurse turned millionaire, and she did it in 3 years.
Wow,
And she's
that's
amazing.
awesome.
So she is someone that I do follow for success. Marie Forleo, I'm sure people have heard of her. She's very successful. She has a YouTube. I love to watch her. She gives me inspiration, and she gives me business tips as well.
Okay, so we're running out of time. Real quick, how did this gal become a millionaire in 3 years?
She basically started with network marketing, and now she teaches people how to do it in any business.
And tell me her
Any
name.
business.
Spell her name real quick.
It's Kayla, Cayla, Craft, Craft. Or you can look up Millionaire Mommy.
Okay, now we're out of time, so tell us your website and tell us how people, I'm sure people are going to want to listen to your podcast. So tell us how to get the podcast and your website, how to get the book too.
At Empowerment is Beauty, and that's for Instagram and Facebook. Website, Sherry Rickard, CherryRickard.com. You can contact me there. And my podcast is anywhere, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Real Girl Talk.
Okay, if they Google Sherry Rickard, they get a bunch of stuff too, right? Sherry Rickard,
Yes.
Rickard.
Yes.
Awesome. Sherry, you are so inspiring. You are doing the Lord's work. Praise God. You're a beautiful, beautiful soul. And I can't tell you what an honor it is. Has been to have you on my show, an honor to be your friend. Thanks so much, Sherry.
You bet, Ned.
Awesome. We'll talk soon. That's Sherry Rickard from Real Girl Talk, her podcast. She's just an absolutely powerful, inspiring lady. Her Facebook page is Empowerment is Beauty, and the program is Real Girl Talk Podcast. Thanks for listening to Brightside, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.